Good morning, New Canaan High School.
I'm Bridget Salmini coming to you live from the NCTV studio. Today is Friday, May 3rd, and a day C.
And I'm Luke Rambuya. We've got a bunch of news to share with you, from a successful color run, the choir performing at Carnegie Hall, and the VEX Robotics team who just competed in Worlds. But before we get to that, will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Last Sunday, the New Canaan Scholarship Foundation hosted the third annual color run right here at NCHS. There was a huge turnout with over 1,100 runners who helped raise over $47,000 in financial aid money for our seniors heading off to college. None of this would be possible without the 100+ volunteers who helped run this event, so a big thanks to them. Now, seniors that would like to submit an application, today is the last day to apply for a scholarship, so be sure to visit www.nchs-sf.org/scholarships to find out more information on that.
Speaking of my fellow seniors, believe it or not, we are nearing the end of our high school careers. The senior internship program is starting in less than 3 weeks, which runs from May 21st to June 14th. However, if before they start, there is a mandatory meeting on May 20th at 8 a.m. in the auditorium, followed by a LinkedIn training session in the Wagner Room. Also, seniors, make sure you don't let your grades slip, as you may not be eligible for an internship. But don't forget to enjoy your last few weeks of high school.
Attention AP Kids, exams start next week, beginning Monday, May 6th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day and run through Friday, May 17th. Although students have the exam locations from the pre-administration sessions, there are extra copies in the counseling office. If you have any specific questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to Ms. Lency or Ms. McGann in the counseling office.
Switching gears to some more exciting news, the English department hosted its annual Poetry Fest last Tuesday, where 64 poems were read. The poets put hard work into their poems and did an even better job performing them. There were many awards handed out, from senior Kate Reeves, who won Best Performance of a Poem, Ali Chiaffi, who earned Most Artful Use of Language, and Amelie Lenoff, who had the Best Use of Imagery. To wrap up the night, senior Kira Russo won Best Overall Poem. Congratulations to all award winners, and great job to everyone who submitted poems.
Continuing with student writing around NCHS, Miss Brown's Period 2 AP Language class has put together their own version of The Onion over the past few weeks. These satirical articles that aim to poke fun at technology in New Canaan are sure to make you laugh out loud. Copies are available throughout the day in the library, but also make sure to keep a lookout over the next few weeks for the second issue.
Choir had a big weekend. Both the concert choir and the madrigal ensemble performed at the famous Carnegie Hall last Sunday. Students sang the music of Eric Whitacre on the DCINY concert series in New York City. We spoke to senior Callie McCarthy to see how her experience went.
So Eric Whitacre is this really famous choir composer, and he has kind of assembled together people from across the world to this one choir for the weekend. It was a really great experience. I've just been loving him forever. It was amazing working with a composer I'm such a big fan of.
Congratulations to all of the students who put on a great show.
A flurry of other musical concerts are coming up. First up is orchestra at 7 o'clock this upcoming Tuesday. Mr. Fix is excited to conduct his orchestra through pieces that include a bass solo titled Basses Loaded, as well as an exciting tango, which will feature a talented dancer from the New England Academy of Dance. Our orchestra features amazing talented musicians, 5 of whom qualified for the Connecticut Western Region Orchestra, and 2 who made the state orchestra. The NCHS band will perform the following weeks, May 14th.
Another very talented group is, of course, the VEX Robotics team. The team of 4, Caitlin McCall, Ben and Mark Levin, as well as Will Robertson, are coached by the man himself, Mr. Zambrano. The team competed in VEX Robotics World last Thursday through Saturday. The event took place in Kentucky, where there were almost 600 other schools from 40 different countries. The Rams went undefeated in the qualifying matches, going 11-0, ranking them first in their division, the first Connecticut team to ever do so. The team ended up making it to the quarterfinals, where they lost by only 1 point on a controversial call. Incredible job, guys.
It is May, which means it's time for Student Coalition elections. In order to run, you must grab a petition from either the main office of your class advisors. The class advisors are as followed. For the class of 2020, they are Ms. Moody and Mr. Paul Gallo. For the class of 2021, they are Mrs. Stasio and Mr. Doyle. And finally, for the class of 2022, they are Mr. Bloss and Mr. Killay. Petitions must be returned to your class advisors no later than Monday, May 13th.
Clearly, there's a lot going on at NCHS, and our Rams have been busy on the field. Let's head over to Dylan Pescator to see what's new with our Rams. Dylan?
Thanks, Luke. Good morning, NCHS. I am Dylan Pescator, and let's get right to it. This is your Rams Sports Report. Let's start with tennis. The girls were on a 9-match win streak coming into this week, but lost 7-0 on Monday to Darien. The ladies looked to turn it around on Thursday versus Richfield, and they did, in quick fashion too, winning 7-0. Caroline Mayock, once again, swept her opponent 6-0 in both sets. The girls now turn their attention to St. Joe's as they will travel to play the Cadets on Monday. Great job, ladies. The boys, in their spotless 11-0 record, hosted arch-rival Darien on Monday, and no surprise, their record remained perfect after a hard-fought battle with the Blue Wave. The Rams won 4-3 with wins coming from sophomore Sai Akavaramu and Ben Graham in the single matches, while the doubles matches wins came from senior Luke Crowley and junior Jack Moore, as well as seniors Jake McCarthy and Alessandro Solpizzi. The match was tied up at 3-all, and it came down to Sai's match against Darien's Nick Derby. Sai was down early in the second set, but he'd come back to win it for the Rams, avenging their 7-0 loss to the Blue Wave last season. And when you carry your team to beat Darien in dramatic fashion, you have to be our Ram of the Week. Congrats, Sai. They'd finished their week yesterday when they traveled to Richfield, where they were up 3-2 before it got rained out. They'll head back up to Richfield today to finish up the match. Best of luck to them. Now to volleyball. The boys traveled to Westport on Monday, and however they did not receive the result they were looking for against an undefeated Staples team, losing 3-0. They made it up against Stanford on Wednesday, sweeping the Black Knights 3-0. The guys look to make it back-to-back wins at home today against a very solid St. Joe's team. Good luck, guys. Now on to lacrosse. After a 3-4 start, the guys bounced back, winning 3 straight games heading into their road matchup last Saturday against Glastonbury. They'd walk away with an 11-6 W led by senior star and NCTV's own weatherman, Quentin O'Connell, alongside junior Liam Griffiths, who scored 3 goals apiece for both of them. The Rams were back on the road Tuesday at Fairfield Ludlow, coming home with yet another win, this time the score being 15-6. In this match, Griffiths shined once more, leading the charge with 5 goals. The Rams are now 8-4, riding a 5-game win streak and look to keep their momentum rolling into tomorrow's road game at Fairfield Prep. This past Saturday, the girls' track team traveled up to the O'Grady Relays in Bethel and had many impressive performances. The long-distance team earned 5th in the distance medley relay, and the throwers took 7th in both the discus and the shot put. The ladies traveled up to Trumbull on Monday, and while they unfortunately lost, they had a few key highlights. The Rams took first in the sprinting events, however, the most incredible performances came from the long-distance runners. Freshman Lauren Doherty hit her personal record in the 800-meter, and junior Sophie Curcio won the 1600-meter, earning her PR as well. In addition, NCTV's own sophomore Molly Murphy won the 3200-meter. Yesterday, the girls hosted another meet with many amazing performances, including a win in all 3 throwing events between senior Kate Rees and sophomore Emma Gibbons. The varsity runners are also traveling up to Middletown tomorrow to face some of the best teams in the state, so best of luck, girls. Let's finish up with baseball. The team looked to turn things around this week after a rough 3-9 stretch to start the year, and on Monday they played Norwalk, and you know NCTV was there, so let's roll the tape. We'll pick it up in the first inning where junior Ryan McAleer grounds it to shortstop, who makes a bad throw and allows Ben Sarter to score to give the Rams a 1-0 lead. On to the second now where junior Frankie Rampin is up with the bases loaded and walks, forcing in another run for the Rams, 2-0 Rams. The Bears scored 1 in the third off this single and then tied it up in the fifth, but the guys did not roll over, as in the bottom of the fifth, the Rams had bases loaded and Cleet Wheeler lays down a perfect suicide squeeze bunt, and just like that, NC had the lead 3-2. The guys looked to pour it on later in the same inning when Jack Lasecki hits a single to left, making it 4-2. And just a few batters later, Frankie puts one down the line, allowing Henry Cannon and Cleet Wheeler to score, making it 6-2 Rams. Frank looked to close it out in the mound on the 7th, and he did just that, striking out the first batter on a pitch in the dirt, and then struck out the second one as well. He finished it off, forcing a flyout to end it as Dylan Shane catches it, sealing the win for the Rams. The guys were right back at it on Tuesday, beating Trinity 4-3 off a walk-off single from Zach Rampin. On Wednesday, the guys unfortunately fell to McMahon 13-11, but they host arch-rival Darien today at 4 at Mead Park, so headed over to give the guys some home field advantage. Well, that's all for me. Bridget and Luke, back to you guys.
Thanks, Dylan. Now let's swing it over to Dennis Mulcahy to see if we'll be finally getting some warm weather for our Rams, who all have games this weekend. Dennis?
Thanks, Luke. You know, we sure had our fair share of rain this week when we got absolutely drenched on Monday. The question is, just how much this weekend will be a washout? Good morning, NCHS. I'm Dennis Mulcahy, here with your weekend's weather. Lucky for us, things look to stay dry through the rest of the day, but the clouds are here to stay. With the overcast conditions, a high of 55 is all we get, so make sure to throw on a sweatshirt if you're headed outside. As for Saturday, some AM showers are in the forecast. However, a high of 69 means it'll be the day to watch girls lacrosse take on Darien at 3. Now, before we make the jump to hyperspace to Sunday, I'd like to take a moment to say, may the 4th be with you on Saturday, aka Star Wars Day, for all the fans from a galaxy far, far away. Then on Sunday, we'll see rain for the entire day. A high of 52 and some heavy rain are signs that this is your day to do some crunch time studying before AP tests start soon. Good news though, next week we'll see less rain and higher temps. That's all I've got for you, NCHS. You have a great weekend. And back to you, Bridget and Luke.
Thanks, Dennis. One more quick reminder for all of you that taking the SAT this Saturday, bring your calculator, 2 number 2 pencils, and a valid ID. Before we go, we would like to wish a very happy birthday to Caroline Brooks, James Dathan, and Aaron McDevitt. If you have any announcements, be sure to follow us on Twitter at NCTV78 or email us at nctv78@gmail.com a week before the Friday broadcast. This has been Bridget Salmini.
And I'm Luke Rambuya. We leave you now with photos from last Friday's junior prom. Have a great weekend, and remember, seniors, only 10 days left.